Black Americans, Resilience and Competence. Many African American children in the U.S. grow up hearing they must be 10 times better than white people to succeed in education, work, and even sports. This isn't about getting the job, but just getting a chance. The message is often to outwork everyone, no matter what. This experience is common in many black families. This emphasis on exceeding expectations likely stems from the historical and ongoing reality of systemic racism, where black individuals often face higher hurdles to achieve the same level of recognition as their white counterparts. Ironically, even with our achievements, we often face criticism, sometimes from white people and other minorities who have assimilated, who suggest we're never good enough. Even when black people make significant discoveries, they're often overlooked or credited to others, a phenomenon often referred to as whitewashing in historical accounts. Social media is full of debates about racism in America. This isn't about proving or disproving racism. For many black Americans, it's a reality. Numerous studies and reports document disparities in areas like housing, employment, and criminal justice. This message is for those in leadership positions facing resistance from white staff who question black authority. This resistance can manifest in subtle and overt ways, from questioning qualifications to undermining decisions. It's for black students excelling in college, making things easier for those who come after. The pressure to succeed can be immense, as black students often feel they represent their entire community. It's for black women facing higher rates of medical malpractice. Research has shown significant racial disparities in maternal mortality rates, with black women being 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. It's for black men dealing with racial profiling. Data consistently demonstrates that black men are disproportionately stopped, searched, and arrested by law enforcement. It recognizes the struggles of young black boys overlooked in education. Studies show that black boys are more likely to be disciplined harshly in schools and less likely to be identified as gifted. And the lack of attention given to missing young black girls. While missing children cases receive varying levels of media attention, cases involving black girls often receive less coverage than those involving white girls. For over 400 years, black Americans have faced degradation, lynchings, abuse, and dehumanization. This trauma continues across generations, contributing to what some researchers call historical trauma or intergenerational trauma. Yet, despite this, black Americans excel. This isn't about playing the victim, it's about resilience. Historically, successful black communities have been destroyed, often through acts of violence and arson. If black Americans rebuild, will these communities be safe? This question is rooted in the historical pattern of successful black communities being targeted. Many successful black communities have been destroyed. Here are some examples, with added context. Chicago, 1919. White people used discrimination to block black access to jobs and housing, leading to the Chicago Race Riot of 1919, part of the Red Summer of racial violence across the U.S. New York City, 1863. Irish rioters targeted black people during the draft riots, fueled by racial prejudice and economic anxieties. Detroit, 1943. Racism and inequality caused the Detroit Race Riot of 1943, resulting in many deaths and widespread destruction. Washington, D.C., 1919. A false rumor sparked the Washington Race Riot of 1919, another event in the Red Summer. Springfield, Illinois, 1908. False accusations led to the Springfield Race Riot of 1908, highlighting racial tensions and injustice. East St. Louis, 1917. Attacks on black residents during the East St. Louis Massacre of 1917 caused deaths and displacement, demonstrating the fragility of black communities. Tulsa, 1921. White mobs destroyed the Greenwood District, Black Wall Street, in the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921, a devastating example of the destruction of black economic success. Memphis, 1866. Post-Civil War violence targeted black neighborhoods in the Memphis Massacre of 1866, highlighting the challenges of Reconstruction. Philadelphia, 1985. The move bombing by Philadelphia police in 1985 destroyed a black group's home, raising questions about excessive force and racial bias. Charleston, 2015. The Charleston Church Massacre at Emmanuel AME Church, where a white supremacist murdered black parishioners, demonstrated the persistence of racial hatred. Black Americans have faced huge challenges and still experience racism. This can lead to internalized prejudice. It's hard to just enjoy life, no matter how successful someone is. The struggle is to be seen as fully human. While we can't always count on others to see us as equals, we must recognize our own worth and competence.